Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to our VNCBSEC's English online class. So today we're gonna learn a new lesson 7 in your term 2 book. The title of the lesson is Young Readers of Newspapers. Yes, Young Readers of Newspapers. So what is the title of the lesson? Young Readers of Newspapers. It's from page number 110 to 121. So now I'll have you take your English textbook. Have you all taken? That's fine, dear children. Let me tell the title once again. Young Readers of Newspapers. So who are the young readers here? Yes, it's nobody but it's you. You are the young reader of newspaper. Okay, so today we're gonna learn some few interesting facts, informations about newspapers. Okay, children, are you ready? So first of all, what is news? What is the expansion of news? What is the meaning of news? Yes, what's your opinion? Everybody has their different opinions about news, right? So if you have anything to tell me, you just type your answers to me. Yes, let me tell you, news stands for north, east, west, south. Yes, N for north, E for east, W for west, and S for south. You get it? That's fine, my dear children. And then importance of reading newspapers. What do you think? What are the importance of reading newspapers? Yes, what is the benefit of reading newspapers? Yes, children, you can enhance your reading and writing skills, and you can learn new vocabularies. Yes, you can learn new English words. Okay, and in addition, you can gain confidence. Okay, children, when you collecting and processing the information from newspapers, you can gain confidence, and moreover you can analyze the various sections of a newspaper. Yes, how many pages will be there in a newspaper? Only one page, 2, 3 pages, 4? No, there are more pages, right? So when you analyze each page, you can get more words, you can enhance your reading skill and writing skill, you can gain confidence as well. Okay, children, you can improve your English. Okay, so not only you are getting information from the newspapers, but also you are enhancing your reading, writing skills, and you're gaining confidence, you're improving your total English level. Okay, children? Yes. And now you should read newspapers. Why you should read newspapers? Because just now I mentioned the benefits, the advantages of newspapers, right? So if you want to be the good writer, you should read newspapers. If you want to get to know the everyday information, you should read newspapers. Okay, and to know the launching of a satellite, or the next generation climbers of Mount Everest, or the most challenging sports events of the day. So political news, sports news, yes, so weather, everything you can get from newspapers. Okay, children? And then who bring this news to you? Who are the people they are bringing the news to you? Who are there working behind this newspaper? Yes, a person who is always holding a camera and who is recording everything is called as reporter. So reporter is there and he is reporting the news from all the corners of the world. He tracks people in cities, towns, and villages to click these street plays, records the noise, that means everyday incident, and posts it to his friends called writers and editors. Yes, what he is reporting is written by writers. Yes, what he is writing is edited by editors. Okay, children, after that it is printed as a newspaper. Okay, and let me tell you a famous dialogue. Yeah, all the world's stage and all men and women merely players. So whether you know the Tamil translation of this dialogue, yes, it's written by, it's told by William Shakespeare. Okay, children, Who? William Shakespeare. So your homework today is you should find who is William Shakespeare and the Tamil translation of this dialogue. You should record your Tamil voice, Tamil translation and send it to me. You can seek the help of your parents, no problem. Okay, children. And here, so through newspapers you are getting interesting reports every day, right? So even though you are getting interesting reports, the news that is not only interesting but it's also informative. Yes, it's also informative. Okay, children. And the first one, if you turn to page number 112, this is our first article given in page number 112. So totally we're gonna learn 5 articles from this lesson. Okay, this is the first article. Yes, written on 19th June 2000. Okay, it's about France. It's about France. Okay, country released a stamp. Okay, this stamp to focus on the varied specimens stored in the zoological section of National Museum of Natural History, France. Okay, children, this stamp is focused on the varied specimens stored in the zoological section of the National Museum of Natural History in the country of France. Again, okay, which country released the stamp? France. It's France. But the article was not only talking about the particular stamp which was released by the country France, but it also was talking about some of the specimens that were only used for scientific study, and the tiny parts of these specimens are open to public at the Great Evaluation Gallery. Okay, children. So the specimens in this museum includes birds, mammals, reptiles, etc. Okay, most of these date back to the 19th and early 20th century. Okay, as I told you already, most of these specimens are used for only scientific study. Okay, children, and a tiny part of this collection is open to the public in the huge building of the, what's the name of the building? Great Evaluation Gallery. And this gallery includes some of the largest animals in the world like giraffe, okay, that lives in Somalia and Kenya. Okay, children, you know what, this giraffes, they used to live only in small groups. Yes, they never make a big group. Yes, instead they used to live in a small group. Okay, children, but occasionally they form herds of 50 members. They form a group of 50 members. Okay, and as far as you know, even though I said it was about the stamp released by the country France, whatever you learnt now, what are the information you got now? Yes, so many information. It's about the museum, it's about some specimens, it's about Great Evaluation Gallery, it's about giraffes. Yes, okay, children. So this is the advantage. Yes, this is one of the advantages of newspaper. What's that? You come to know lot of things. You got lot of information. Okay, children, this is the advantage, special advantage of newspaper. Okay, if you turn to page number 114, all of you take page number 114. Yes, so this is the article. The second article is talking about natural disaster. For example, Gujarat earthquakes, tsunami in Tamil Nadu, and the cyclone and the floods in Visakhapatnam and Chennai. All these resulted in loss of lives. They needed immediate attention and help from around the world. Many people rushed to the spot and helped the people. Do you remember? Yes, anybody knows tsunami? Yes, whether you aware of tsunami? When did it happen? Anybody knows? Earthquake, it often happens there in Gujarat. Earthquake. And in which year Tamil Nadu faced this tsunami? A flood. Not a flood, it's a earthquake in the sea. Yes, due to that we faced tsunami. Okay children, and we lost a lot of our lives, our relatives, our friends, etc. Okay, so you just discuss with your parents, they may tell you a good story about that. Okay children, yes, but it's a sad story obviously. Okay, fine. And then cyclone and floods. I think you may have heard about this flood of Chennai, recent flood, right? And Visakhapatnam as well. Visakhapatnam. Okay, and the second article is talking about, yes, natural disaster. Okay, so 1 year after the tsunami. So this is a report on a quiet village in Chennai. So what's the name of this village? Fishing village, a quiet fishing village, Kokilamedu, near Chennai, is on the southern coast of India. Okay children, so in the beginning the sea was very friendly. It was light blue in color and has its gentle waves. Okay, then after that the sea changed its character. Yes, it was a horrible day. Sea swept inland, taking with it anything and anyone it could find. It was a tsunami that shocked the people. The people were shocked. The people were afraid. They were frightened to face tsunami. Okay children, you can see the picture given in page number 114 in your textbook. You can see how the tsunami is. Okay, and nobody seen this something like this before. Even the oldest resident of that village, even the oldest people, yes, in that village, they said that they have never seen something like this before. Yes, nobody seen like this before. Okay children, and turn to the next page. So here it's also about tsunami. It's given in page number 115, but this report is focus on those children who live on the seashore when the tsunami struck. Okay, so this report talks about the particular children who live on the seashore during that tsunami. Okay children, the first one, Keshav Murthy from grade 8, he told that, yes, he was playing by the sea that Sunday when suddenly he noticed the strange behavior of the sea and its waves. Yes, the waves, they rose up high, almost as high as that coconut tree. Yes, he suddenly ran home because his sister was alone there. She is only 4. So this is said by Keshav Murthy, grade 8. And next, Vali from grade 7, she said that she was helping her mom. She had some shouting. Yes, she had people shouting and running here and there when she was looking. Okay children, and really she was very afraid. She was frightened. Okay, and the next thing is Balasubramaniam from grade 7. Yes, luckily for us there was no loss of life here, but we lost all of our things. Even though nobody died from his family, they lost most of their things, all of their things almost. Okay children, and then Arunachalam said that children are stoic and these waves, they won't hurt us again. They won't come to us again to kill us. Okay, but this Pontian, even though it won't hurt us again, we are still afraid to face it. Okay children, they are the children, those who witnessed tsunami, they are sharing their suggestions with you. Okay, so you just listen to it very carefully. And Manshumata, she is from grade 6. Okay, she said that there are no reasons now to be afraid. Yes, for fear, because she believes that it won't hurt us again. Okay, so Manshumata from grade 6, and the village elders, they started fishing as usual. They are doing their work every day. What is their work? Fishing. Okay, and as child Vijay, named Vijay from grade 6, he is philosophical. What's the meaning of philosophical? Yes, Turn to page number 116. Inside the box, you can find the meaning of philosophical. Having or showing a calm attitude towards disappointments or difficulties. So children, even though this tsunami left so many disappointments and difficulties, this student Vijay, yes, he is philosophical. He has the calm attitude towards this disappointment, towards the tsunami. Okay, and he said that the sea won't harm us again. Okay, this won't harm us again. Okay, that was the fateful day. Since that fateful day, the children, they have been reading, studying and watching the television for news about tsunamis. Okay, and children, this tsunami is a common feature in Japan. Why? Because the people from Japan, they have learned to live with tsunamis. Okay, yes, so this is the third article in your textbook given in page number 115 to 116. Okay children, and now turn to the next page. Here you can find a question. What have you learned from the two reports on tsunami? Yes, the second and third article is about natural disaster, especially about tsunami, right? So your question is, what have you learned from these two reports, these two articles? What have you learned? Yes children, newspapers not only give us news but also express human behavior, their sentiments, SENTI, their sentiments and their sufferings. Okay, and next, this enables us to work for the cause of humanity. Okay, and moreover, newspaper inspires us to reach out not only poor and needy but also to anyone. You can reach out anybody at any time, those who need help. Okay children, and if you turn to the next para, yes, this newspapers also instill in us a sense of pride and patriotism of one's own country. Patriotism towards your country. The newspapers has that capability to instill in us a sense of pride and patriotism. Okay children, and the next article is on A.R. Rahman's performance at the United Nations, UN. It makes all Indians proud. So for example, if any one of the Indian citizen, if he or she receives award, how will we feel? Yes, we cheer up them because he is also an Indian. We are also proud Indians, right? So we should cheer them, we should congratulate them, right? So same thing, if anybody from our country will participate in any of the performances or sports or anything outside of our country, we should be, yes, proud. We should have the sense of pride and patriotism. Okay children, so this article is about A.R. Rahman. Okay, and in order to mark India's 17th Independence Day at UN General Assembly Hall, yes, A.R. Rahman enthralled a packed audience at the iconic UN, yes, General Assembly Hall with his renditions of Indian Carnatic legend M.S. Subbulakshmi. Yes, who is Indian Carnatic legend? M.S. Subbulakshmi. Okay children, so he performed all of her songs. Yes, and finally the food tapping is Jai Ho. So whether you know Jai Ho song? Yes, the award-winning movie Slumdog Millionaire. Whether have you watched that movie? One of the best movies in our Indian cinema. Okay, if you have time, you just watch that with your parents. Okay children, it might give you many information like you're getting from newspaper. Okay, yes, and A.R. Rahman, he became the second Indian artist after Subbulakshmi. Yes, after this legend, he was the second Indian artist to perform in that General Assembly Hall. Okay children, and this General Assembly Hall, which is the usual platform for global leaders, yes, they used to address the world. They used to address the world. Okay children, and then it was a tribute to whom? Subbulakshmi. It was the tribute to Subbulakshmi because it was the occasion of her birth centenary and also the 50th anniversary of her performance at the UN. So now, who is this Subbulakshmi? Indian Carnatic legend. She was the first musician who was awarded Bharat Ratna. Yes, this is India's highest civilian honor award. India's highest civilian honor award. What's that? Bharat Ratna. Okay, and once she was invited by then UN Secretary General late U Thant to perform at the General Assembly in October 1966. Yes, she was the first Indian to perform there. So after that, to give tribute, who performed there? A.R. Rahman. Okay children, and when he was dressed in traditional Indian attire, the audience of ambassadors, diplomats and Indian Americans welcomed Rahman with a thunderous applause and loud cheers as he stepped on stage. So you just imagine when you are reading this report from the newspaper, yes, automatically you get goosebumps because you are reading about one of the Indian citizens. He is performing in the General Assembly Hall where only the global leaders could address the world, the people from all over the world, but there are Indian citizens, two of them. First one is Indian Carnatic legend M.S. Subbulakshmi and the second one is A.R. Rahman, the living legend. So how do you feel if you read this in the newspaper? Yes, we'll be proud. Yes, we have the sense of pride and patriotism, right children? So this is the report about A.R. Rahman. Okay, and then it was the 3-hour long concert. Yes, he did a 3-hour long concert. Yes, he was also performing with his troupe. What's the meaning of troupe? Yeah, a group. Okay, through the nearly 3-hour long concert, it was one Monday. On that day, Rahman, yes, and his troupe, he performed with his troupe. What he performed? He performed Subbulakshmi's music and compositions. Okay children, and then a highlight of the concert was, what is the highlight of the concert? Yes, the performances by students of Sunshine Orchestra. Yes, the performances by the students of Sunshine Orchestra was the highlight of that concert. Okay children, and who is this? Who is Sunshine Orchestra? Who are the students? Yes, who are they? Yes, this Sunshine Orchestra, an initiative by the A.R. Rahman Foundation that teaches music to underprivileged youngsters. What's the meaning of underprivileged? It's given there in page number 119. Person who does not enjoy rights or standard of living like others. Yes, okay. So we have our own standard, yes, in our life. We have our studies, we have enough food, good dress, good family, yes, good surroundings, everything. But there are some people, they do not enjoy their rights and they do not get their standard of living like us. Okay, so those children, they are called as underprivileged youngsters. Okay, so this group, this Sunshine Orchestra, they used to teach us, yes, they used to teach music to underprivileged youngsters. Okay children, and Rahman said a word, yes, said a sentence. It's a word of encouragement. Yes, by saying this, he encouraged his troupe. What's that? From today, you are privileged. You are not underprivileged anymore. Okay, this is how he encouraged her troop. Okay, children, and Rahman said these words of encouragement to the students as they got ready to perform on the UN stage. Okay, what is that? UN, United Nations. That is the General Assembly Hall. Okay, do you understand now? Yes, this is the report about A.R. Rahman. Okay, and then finally you know your English. Yes, it was the report on 1st August 2016. It's given in page number 119. This is the final report in this lesson. Yes, children. So, running at. What's the meaning of running at? Yes, there is a dialogue. In the final scene, we have the heroine running at the villain and punching. So, running at. Usually we should say that, we used to say that run after. So which means you are running after your friend, you are running after somebody. Yes, it's just for fun, you are chasing them. Yes, during you playing. Okay, but what's the meaning of running at? Running at means you are rushing towards somebody to attack them. It's not just for fun, but to attack them. That's why running at the villain and punching. So what's the meaning of running at? Yes, rush towards to attack somebody. Okay, children. And the next one, going shopping. So some people, they say that went for shopping. I go for shopping. That is wrong. Instead, you should use I go shopping with my friends. I went shopping with my mom. I went shopping with my father. Okay. So, we learned two things. What's the meaning of running it? And you should say going shopping. You shouldn't say going for shopping. Got it? Yes. Do you understand now? Okay, my dear children. I think we have learned how many reports today? 5 reports today in our 7th lesson of your semester 2 book. Yes. So, here you are having in-text questions. Okay. So, after listening to your class, you just read the text once again. Yes, read this chapter once again, and after that you can complete all of your in-text questions. This is your homework today. And children, side by side, please start preparing for your term 2 exam. Yes, one words will be there, objective type questions will be there. That means one words. Okay, no questions will be there like 2 marks, 3 marks, 5 marks, no questions. Maybe drawings will be there, or else objective types, only one words question will be there. Okay, children, if you listen to the video carefully, if you listen to the audio carefully, yes, audio of your video, okay, carefully, you can write your term 2 exam well. Okay, children, so here we come to an end of the class today. Till we meet in the next class. Thank you. Bye-bye.